Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the world of Neville Goddard, a spiritual teacher with some truly reality-bending ideas. We're going to break down his most powerful concepts into a guide that's clear and, hopefully, pretty actionable.
So let's start with this question. This is really the wild idea at the very heart of Neville Goddard's work. He taught that this isn't some fantasy. Nope. He said it's a fundamental truth about how our reality actually gets built. Let's dig into what he meant and how you might actually use these ideas.
All right, so our journey into Goddard's teachings really has to start with his most foundational principle. And it's all about completely redefining something we think we know so well, our own imagination. He saw it as way more than a tool for fantasy. He saw it as the very power that shapes our entire world.
And this shift in perspective is absolutely key. Most of us are taught to see our imagination as this kind of passive escape, totally separate from the real world, right? But Goddard, he argued the exact opposite. He said your imagination is the one and only creative reality.
Just think about that for a second. According to Goddard, the physical world we see around us is just a mirror. It's a delayed reflection of what you consistently hold and feel as true inside your own mind.
And this quote, it just nails the whole idea perfectly. This isn't just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about working on the source of creation, your own consciousness, instead of trying to manipulate the reflection you see all around you.
Okay, so if your imagination is the creative studio, how do you actually use it to build a new reality? Well, Goddard taught that there's a very specific technique, a kind of secret ingredient that really activates this incredible power.
And here is the crucial part, the thing that makes all the difference. It is not enough to just think of what you want. You have to learn how to think from the state of already having it. That feeling, that deep inner conviction, that's the secret sauce that makes it real.
So, for example, instead of just daydreaming about a promotion, you would build a scene that takes place after you've already gotten it. Maybe you feel the firm handshake from your boss, you hear them say congratulations, and you feel that quiet sense of satisfaction as you sit in your new office. The whole goal is to shift your entire being from I really want to be to the quiet, calm knowing of I already am.
Now, the cool thing about Neville is that he didn't just give us the theory. He offered a whole toolkit of specific, practical methods to help you actually cultivate this feeling and impress it deep into your subconscious mind.
But why this specific time? Well, as we start to drift off to sleep, our conscious, analytical mind, the gatekeeper that's always questioning and doubting everything, it starts to let its guard down. And this opens up a direct pathway to your subconscious.
Neville had a name for this, of course. He called it the state akin to sleep, or SATS for short. By replaying your little wish-fulfilled scene over and over in this state and really feeling it as real, you're planting a seed. The subconscious takes this feeling as a direct command and then gets to work bringing it into your physical world.
Okay, so this is one of Neville's most radical, most mind-bending ideas. He gave us a tool not just for creating the future, but for actively going back and editing your past.
And the logic here is actually pretty simple. The past only exists as a memory in your mind. So if you change the memory, and more importantly, the feeling tied to it, you neutralize its negative power over your present and your future. It's kind of like pruning the dead branches off a plant so that new, healthy stuff can grow.
Now look, adopting this new way of seeing the world, it's not always a walk in the park. It really requires you to consciously face and overcome two major internal opponents.
And this is the big one. As soon as you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the world around you is probably going to scream that it isn't true.
So the real work, the true test of faith, if you want to call it that, is to persist in your inner assumption. You have to learn to trust the reality of your imagination more than you trust the temporary facts that your physical senses are reporting to you.
The second big enemy is inside you. Neville taught that the only real devil is that voice of doubt inside your own mind. It's that nagging little thought that whispers, "This can't be real," trying to tempt you to drop your new state and go right back to your old reality. So, when you really start to grasp these concepts, it brings with it this almost unbelievable power, but it also places a profound level of responsibility squarely on your shoulders. And this leads us to one of Goddard's most profound and maybe most challenging concepts. Everyone is you pushed out. It means that every single person in your life is acting like a mirror,
reflecting back to you your own state of consciousness, your beliefs and your assumptions about them and the world.
So for instance, if you assume a family member is always critical of you, they'll play that part perfectly. To change that, you wouldn't argue with them, no. You'd go inside your own mind and imagine them being loving and supportive, and you'd feel the warmth of that new dynamic. According to this law, their behavior in your outer world has no choice but to shift and match your new assumption.
This number, it represents a truly radical idea, the amount of responsibility you have for every single thing that happens in your life. Not 99%, 100%.
And I get it, that might sound a little terrifying at first, but really think about it. It's also the ultimate freedom. Because if you are the sole cause of everything in your life, well, that means you are also the one and only solution. The power is, and it always has been, in your hands.
Ultimately, the art of living is really about consciously choosing the state you want to occupy. Your imagination is the studio, your feelings are the paint, and your life is the canvas. The only question left is, what masterpiece are you going to create?